At 11:41 p.m. on September 9th, the skies over eastern Poland erupted in fire. Radar operators already knew what it meant. Russian drones had crossed into NATO territory. But this time, the response wasn't a warning or a diplomatic note. This time, Dutch F-35s were in the air and their orders were clear: defend NATO skies. For the first time in history, NATO fighter jets shot down Russian aircraft over Alliance territory. And leading the charge were Dutch pilots flying the F-35 Lightning II, one of the most advanced warplanes on the planet. This wasn't a drill, and it wasn't an accident. Around 19 drones poured across the Polish border from Belarus and Ukraine, most of them Iranian-made Shahed 136s. The same kamikaze drones that have terrorized Ukrainian cities for over a year. But tonight, they were targeting NATO soil. The Dutch jets weren't alone either. Polish F-16 scrambled, German Patriot missile crews powered up their launchers, and Italian AWACS aircraft swept the skies with powerful radar. Even American MQ-9 Reaper drones were circling overhead, recording every move. In less than an hour, the battle was underway, an engagement that would echo through the history books. Because when the first drone fell in flames, NATO's red line had been crossed. The first warning came just before midnight. Polish air defense radars picked up slow, low-flying objects crossing from Belarus into eastern Poland. At first, it looked like the same pattern Ukraine had seen night after night. Waves of Shahed 136 drones launched to exhaust defenses. But this time, the swarm was drifting westward, deeper into NATO skies. By 11:30, confirmation was clear. 19 drones in total, some launched from Belarus, others from Russian-occupied Ukraine. The mix was typical. Shahed 136 kamikaze drones paired with smaller Orlan 10 reconnaissance models. The Orlans flew higher, relaying coordinates, while the Shaheds buzzed in low, each carrying a warhead meant to smash into infrastructure. The Polish Air Force was scrambled first. The F-16 fighters roared off from their bases, climbing to intercept. But the real surprise came from the Malbork Air Force Base in northern Poland, where Dutch F-35A Lightning II jets were already on quick reaction alert. Within minutes, 2 of them were airborne, stealth profiles cutting through the night sky. These weren't just patrols, these were combat sorties. And the F-35s had an edge. Their AN/APG-81 radar detected the incoming drones long before ground controllers could sort the tracks. Over secure data link, the Dutch pilots shared targets with Polish controllers and German Patriot batteries, knitting the defenses into one picture. At 0:14 hours, the first engagement began. Dutch F-35 locked onto a Shahed as it crept just 300 feet above the ground. An AIM-120 AMRAAM missile dropped from its bay, igniting seconds later. The missile then streaked into the night sky, and seconds later after that, a bloom of fire marked the drone's destruction. The first confirmed kill by NATO aircraft over Alliance territory, but the drones kept coming. Some split south, aiming for Polish towns near the Ukrainian border. Others pressed deeper into the west. Patriot batteries near Lublin and Zamość fired volleys of PAC-3 interceptors, arcing into the sky and picking off more drones. Each impact lit up the horizon like distant lightning. Meanwhile, the Italian AWACS, circling at high altitude, directed the fight. Its massive radar scanned hundreds of kilometers, feeding real-time data to every fighter and missile crew. US MQ-9 Reapers loitered nearby, recording infrared footage of the swarm, every launch plume, and every intercept. Between 1 o'clock and 3:30 in the morning, the defense became a coordinated ballet. Dutch F-35s took the high-value tracks, engaging with precision missiles. Polish F-16s dove after the slower Orlan reconnaissance drones, using their cannons to shred the fragile frames. German Patriots kept a shield over populated areas, preventing any drone from reaching any major towns. Still, not every shot connected. By 4:15, several drones still slipped through, buzzing over farmland and villages. One Shahed slammed into a home in the village of Wirkiwola, blowing out windows and starting a fire. Miraculously, no one was killed, but the explosion jolted an entire region awake. Polish civilians were now staring at the same threat Ukrainians had endured for months. By dawn, 14 drones had been shot down, 6 by Dutch F-35s, 4 by Patriots, and the rest by Polish fighters. The survivors either crashed or were neutralized by jamming. The message was undeniable. Russia's drones had crossed a line, and NATO had answered with force. When the smoke cleared, the adrenaline on the front lines gave way to political shockwaves. Poland had endured Russian drones before, stray systems that drifted across borders.